Just 1 second. Hi everyone. Welcome back, my dear friends. With a little bit of a delay, but I'm coming on to talk today or to start a conversation today about the recent events. We definitely have something to celebrate in our society here in the United States. I'm going to share some things today from my Ukrainian perspective, but I hope that it will resonate with many people, regardless of nationality or background. I really hope so. I do believe that we have hope and we have a lot to celebrate. It's when I heard that news on Friday on Supreme Court decision, I literally danced. I was dancing in my living room, belly dancing to be exact. All of a sudden, I remembered everything. So that's for another video, maybe one day. But I literally danced. I just felt that there is hope in our society. There is hope that common sense will make a return because the way things have been going, the dealing with everything that have been coming and showing up from the woke culture, it has been an extreme pain for most of us common sense people. I think I need to call my tribe, people who have been loyal to my channel and follow me for a while. Probably should call you guys my common sense friends, my common sense people. Hey, Jim, good to see you. So I've actually thought about making a series on this topic because there are so many layers and so many issues. But today, I just want to congratulate all of us for living to this moment of being able to witness common sense winning over the mindless, ruthless right for women that should have never been in a constitution to begin with. When people do not have laws, when there is no regulations, they are more likely to be mindless. They are more likely to make decisions that will hurt their own selves. They are more likely to harm themselves and to be absolutely reckless with some decisions that can make or break them. If, for example, could you really say, I've actually heard Officer Tatum talking about this, and I absolutely agree with him. Could you say that my body, my choice, if you had alcohol and you just drop in and you hop in your vehicle and you just like, my body, my choice. I want to drink. I'm gonna be drinking, driving, and f you all. It's never it's never your choice when you're about to affect other bodies. And let me tell you something. I've spent some time uh, going back and forth with some people on the other side. Um, Usually it is a waste of time, but sometimes it is important to try at least to understand their perspective, try to understand where they're coming from. And yes, it is a time you can never get back. This is definitely time you can never get back. But I want to share with you something from a perspective of uh, I assume a Russian doctor, Russian OBGYN doctor. So I shared my opinion and I said, I don't think this is a devastating decision for our democracy, as I think this decision may make men and women become a little bit more responsible with what they do. This decision may help people to actually think before they engage. It may even help women to overthink and raise their standards. Think about this. We all have freedom. We are not suppressed in our choices. There is no punishment. We all have freedom of what, how we can spend their time, who we want to spend time with. We live in a times where there is no church, or we don't live in Sharia law, in Muslim law, like in Iran. We are living in a society where we pretty much can think through our options and our choices. But do young women really think through when they engage with men that would want them to get rid of uh, the fruit of their interactions? What women had done to themselves that they lowered the standards below the ground, as we would say, below the floor. What happened to our society? We are focusing only on the outcome. We are not thinking about what have led to all of this, because everybody knows that 95% of all the terminations are just people facing uh, their irresponsible behavior. So I think that it is truly important for us, for people who have life experiences, to actually being able to talk to young people each time we have, each time you have an opportunity and you have some community. You should not be shy and talk to your people. Of course, first of all, you need to talk to your family. It's not about trying to control, the youth and who will what they, you have no way to control, but you can inspire, you can share, and gives them some good perspectives in life, because young people used to always look up for advice, for support. But in this society, a lot of parents, they just give their children an iPad, and that's about it. In this world that we are living on, we let our children being raised by TV or Disney or Netflix or something else. So, but coming back to my conversation, I was so largely disappointed, talking with a person that is supposedly, a medical professional and a woman doctor. And we basically, pretty much, I wouldn't say we had a fight, but we pretty much did. I guess we did. I don't know how else to sugarcoat it. I was told that the child, the conceived child, is nothing but a clump of cells. And this is, I hear from somebody, somebody who's, it's supposed to be a very respectful profession in the United States, being a doctor. And, I truly and deeply realize that education does not make you smart. Once again, I witnessed and felt it with my heart, with being, it's like life has so many aspects. There is a spiritual aspect, there is emotional aspect, there is physical aspect, yes, biological aspect, yes. But to cut everything down and say that the beginning of life is a clump of cells, not understanding what kind of path that this is can put a woman on, just really gave me a very sad perspective that even Slavic women, even women who are supposed to be more traditional, are completely losing touch with themselves, with their true femininity. Because our role as women in this world, no matter what, is to nurture, is to create life, is to even take care of other children. This is our grand purpose. It's our main purpose in this life. It doesn't matter if you run a business, if you are CEO, I don't care. It doesn't matter. This is something that comes with our DNA. I do understand that, once again, some women may have it less, less of these qualities due to all this brainwash and do all of this. But in general, this is our purpose of life. This is something that only we can feel with our heart. We were born this way, we were made this way. And what truly brought me pain, looking at women uh being ready to tear anybody apart who disagree with their idea of having the right to um, simply murder the unborn child, to simply, I don't like to saying these words, but I don't know what else to say. Seeing that, it's like, look at you, look for, like, how did we get here? How did we get here? What had we done to ourselves? And I would encourage everybody to just see, again, we only talk about the outcome, we only talk about the aftermath, but what happened before that? Especially if we talk about young women, the women that are coming to age, or coming of age, that are starting their life. Why do they have to stand before the choice? Why, as parents, uh, there are not more conversations, not just how life is conceived, they all know this since middle school. Why there is no conversations? And women are not taught and told and nurtured by their parents and told them, you are valuable. Every man does not deserve you. Just because the man you meet made you a compliment, it doesn't mean you have to respond and go with it and end up in bed with him and end up being intimate with him just because he paid attention at you. It doesn't mean anything. Why would you give yourself to a man that have not proved himself? This is not only women's responsibility, by the way. A lot of men are extremely responsible. There is a lot of pressure very often in a relationship. There is a lot of manipulation to get um, faster to the prize, but the woman is still the gatekeeper. I really feel like I need to maybe do a series on this, but the woman is the gatekeeper. And when the gatekeeper is not keeping no gate, when the woman does not, when the young woman, girl, beautiful young girl does not understand that she worth better than this. She doesn't owe anything to anybody. Why they talk about the all this pride nonsense and all of this useless crap in school, instead of telling girls and boys that we are different, we function differently, our emotions work differently, and a child is the highest honor that the woman could give to a man. But why is that so many young women are ending up pregnant, sometimes not knowing from which boyfriend exactly? I grew up in a modern culture too, maybe in Ukraine, but I can share with you that I literally had a friend uh, that she didn't know from who her son was. Well, she was a few years younger than me, and we really our relationship wasn't smooth because of that. Because I was trying to talk her out of. I remember when she met the father of her child, and she just like recklessly just went right on. And I'm not, nobody knows who exactly I'm talking about because that's been a long time ago. But I lived through these examples. I saw what it does. Whether you end up having a child or not having a child, it's going to be a difficult life. It's going to be a difficult and painful life. And what liberals do not tell you, what all these insane people do not tell you, this people with a foam in their mouths, Have they ever spent time to talk with women that were faced with this choice, felt pressure, and then gave into it, were scared of what, their parents will say, what the society will say, what, because we are told that, oh, if you have a child out of a wedlock, your life, you will ruin your life, and so on and so forth. But um have they ever took time to talk with survivors of the, I'm gonna call it termination because I hate that word. Have they ever talked and spent time with women who survived it, who regretted it, who every year counted, years and days? And think, just saying that it's a clump of cells and it's like, like, I don't know, like removing something topical, like, no, it's not. It's not. It has a deep emotional underlying traumatic, it's a traumatic event. There are deep emotions behind it. There is devastation, pain, fear, trauma, realization, understanding that once it's done, it's done. And a lot of women, they really feel, in my life, what I witnessed is a lot of women who went through this, they were not necessarily cruel, they were not fully aware of what are they doing and how it may turn out. Most of them were pressured and scared, and most of them gave in to a man that didn't care for them. A lot of people tell me that, I live like in a different century or something, that I'm too old fashioned for modern times. But think about this. Why would you give the highest honor to the man that will discard you at the very news? At the moment you open your mouth and you tell that, you found out and natural consequences of the relationship, he will just discard you. This is just so devastating that women are not worrying about raising their standards and uh changing their life for better and getting a new perspective on things, but they would rather fight for, I mean, some women, particular kind, which one, but they would rather fight and tell, how the democracy was taken from them. I mean, this whole topic has so many moments and so many layers. I'm actually thinking to maybe pre-record some particular aspects of it, but oh yeah. I want to tell you something very interesting example in comparison. So I had this one friend. We're gonna call her Sasha. We were traveling with her, and she met the father of her child, which she was completely unaware. And yeah, her life was very difficult because she was raising the child. The father was not involved. Not gonna say like what nationality he was, just to like for the privacy of the situation. We were very young, but she was. I mean, she was like 21 or 22, and I was like 24 maybe, 24, 25, somewhere there. And we were traveling together, and I was just like, I'm not, we all living in the modern world. It's not about, pretending and, oh, I have such a high values. No, but I think there is something unnatural, with women wanted to go with the first guy. There is something wrong in there. And so, yeah, I was highly disapproving of her behavior, but she was over 18. So she ended up having this child. He turned out to be a beautiful boy. Uh, her life was very difficult because she was basically raising him on her own. There was not much financial support. Her family, her family was amazing in terms of, they accepted that. They didn't force her to terminate anything, and she ended up once again having a beautiful boy. And that was my first experience, with a newborn, because we were friends, we were helping each other out. That helped me later on in life. But he was so precious and so beautiful. Although again, her life was difficult, was complicated. Now, on the contrary, I had a friend who did the opposite, who gave up under the pressure. And she was in love with this guy who was older than her. She was a very beautiful girl, and it was tragic. It was truly truly tragic because she was 16 or 17 and she was head over heels over this man, and she ended up realizing she's pregnant. And well, he love was over for him. And long story short, she took a decision to terminate, which brought her a trauma that probably lasts till now. We kind of went our separate ways after a while, but that event, that clump of cells, why I'm bringing this personal stories, I just want to share this. That clump of cells, that tragedy, realizing that you loved somebody, you've been with somebody, you didn't have proper guidance from your parents, from God knows. Um, it set your entire life for pain, depression, not trusting men, not being able to connect with men. And she actually became an escort. She was such a beautiful girl, and she was just naive and sweet and pure. And but after she realized, after she was really truly in love with that man, and having to do this, having to um exterminate, to or terminate her pregnancy, column of cells, set her once again, set her entire future into a very dark place. I met her after that, and when she tell me her story, man, that was this is the kind of women these liberals need to talk to. This is the kind, they only show this green haired, 300-pound women screaming and raging on the streets. Why don't they show women that went through extreme trauma and pain, and they would do anything to turn back time? So, with my friend, we'll call her Katya for the sake of conversation. She decided. I mean, I don't know if she decided. It's enormous pressure from society. Enormous pressure. It just she just broke up under it. And so basically, this is why I so severely disrespect and disregard that conversation with a doctor. It's like, okay, I understand you are a biologist, like everyone now again. I understand you actually a biologist. I understand, but you work with women. You can't look at women's body without looking at women's heart and soul and her emotions, especially when it comes to children. Or and as if we don't have, again, a spiritual side of things as well, as if we are just a biological organism just functioning. I felt such extreme disrespect. And my insight of education does not make you smart was just like ringing like a red light, like a siren in my head, because I thought about my friend Katya and what it did to her entire life. How she was, this being full of light and joy, and so she met the light of his life. And when she broke up under pressure and she made that choice, her entire life was set for a major pain and devastation. And uh so she ended up coming to a bigger city where I'm from, and she just became an escort. She said, she told me, I don't believe men, I don't trust men. There is nothing in this world. And she was also in her early 20s, and and this happened when she was young. I think I don't know, 17 maybe. And so, and I remember her telling me, she's like, there is no love, there is no friendship. It's all, it's, she said, I would rather get money from the man and just know that I have what I need and goodbye. So she was not able to form any meaningful relationships after that. She was living with pain and trauma. I remember she was trying to, when she would get money for her services, she would go out and buy her the most expensive things, and then cry over them because those things did not fulfill or satisfy uh or help her in any way. Do you understand? She was trying to feel something through the, getting certain things in life, and she had a huge hole in her heart from that trauma. It had never healed. And to say the worst of it all, that she told me, I don't know how many times I've done it since then. She said, the first one I cried, it broke my heart. She said, it broke my heart. I still cry about it to this day. But then she started, when things will, in her profession, so to speak, when things would go wrong, she just used the termination, just as liberals promote here. She just used it sometimes as birth control, because sometimes you can't control. She was trying to do certain things, and things could occur. And she said, um I don't care, I don't feel anything. She simply said that she doesn't feel absolutely anything, and she doesn't care. It's like her soul abandoned her body. I could feel that. I've never had a judgment toward her, because I could feel the trauma just took over her, and it was really a horrific experience. I wouldn't go into all these details, talking with the doctors that were trying to tell me, that that's simply a medical procedure, and a termination of life is nothing, it's just a clump of cells. And one of the girls said, yes, the worms also have beating hearts, and so what? So they were basically saying how child is not a child, there is nothing to it, and until the child is born and breathing, it's not even anything. And I'm just like, I was just thinking again, how did we get here? And knowing true stories, I lived through this. I lived my own life, and going to college, making friends, seeing what women are going through. It just left such a scar on my heart, um seeing the way woman's destiny uh can turn out after her decision. So if compared to my friends, the one that made a reckless thing, she actually, again, she wasn't sure which guy was the father of her child, because she had several at the same time. It just was like with 2 week difference. I'm like, she well, she ended up knowing, because the child looked like the copy of the father. But anyway, compare her life. I mean, I'm not laughing, I'm just saying that, like, it's insane to me. But so compare her life still turned out better. Her life and and child that's supposed to ruin her life still turned out better, because her child is now probably, I think he's maybe 15, 16 years old right now. He is a beautiful young man, and she actually got married later on, and she's doing fine. Yes, she went through some tough times, but she actually in a much better position. You know how liberals always tell you they have those agendas that, study, grind, compete with men, oh, you have them children later, as if you have a choice, as if you have these options forever. You don't. And sometimes when God gives you something, when life gives you something, there is a blessing in disguise. You don't know why, but every life being have a purpose. And once it's here, it's here. It's not for us to decide. It's not for us to engage in a genocide and try to, say, oh, we believe in science. If you believe in science, you need to know that the life starts at conception. We don't, like one of my friends said, it's, if it's not a new life, what is it? It is. And so, regardless of all of this, the girls that in this particular examples, the girls that choose a struggle, she still done a lot better, especially of course now, having a beautiful son, than the girls that uh, how to say this, gave in to the pressure, which, there is no judgment. I can only imagine what she was going through, but that again set her entire life down spiral. I don't know, we have not been in touch for a while. It just, we didn't really have that much in common, even though I would like to know how things went. But honestly, she was so traumatized, it was really hard to be friends with her, because I felt like she lost that human, when you do particular kinds of job, it does affect you. You cannot be a pure angel and be a professional escort every day, have to do things that you're not supposed to do. You understand? Like, it affects you, and after a while it started to be not of judgment, but it started to be really difficult to be true friends. But even those things that I know, it has been a devastation. The impossible, kind of lost of sensitivity, lost of touch with your own feminine energy, with your purpose. And the thing is, she really wanted to be a mother too. She really wanted to, she just knew there was no way for her, or she felt there was no way for her. She was not prepared financially in any kind of way. And as I said, this is what our main fight here in the United States is, that women stop using, I'm gonna say this, abortion as a birth control. We live in 2022. We have so many options. We have so many things. There are literally millions of things that you can do to not ever get pregnant if it's not part of your plan. But even better is to say the word no to people that take no responsibility, but for you as a man, they take no responsibility. They don't prove themselves to you, but yet you give them the best of you mindlessly. Like, again, there are emotional aspects, there are physical aspects, and all of them should be considered. Women should not put themselves in a situation where they take pride in men taking advantage of them. I just want to say that the most women nowadays have such extremely low standards. They just think that they have equal rights, so they just feel like having no standards whatsoever. It's just so extremely sad. Hi everyone. Oh my gosh, I really wish I did have a chance to go live on last Friday. Oh my gosh, I was so pumped. For those who just joined, I was literally dancing and just like, I was just celebrating common sense. I was just celebrating to possible reevaluation of people's thinking more. And I understand that a lot of people will be outraged and it will make things worse in some way for them. But I also think that thoughtful people will realize, you know what, maybe I shouldn't even be in that situation. Why would I be with a man that, in case, even if we, use contraception and all these things, but in case something happens when you are with the right man, oh well, you just adjust to the situation. A lot of times, even when you are married, um you maybe not planning to have children yet, or when you have a man you're with, you are enjoying your honeymoon phase, you don't really want to have children yet. But when you're with the right man, when you're with a man that takes responsibility for you, oh well, you didn't plan it, but hey, it came. So here we are, right? So yeah, I'm just really glad that mass murder or mass genocide will have to slow down, and it won't be a constitutional right. It should never have been to begin with. What do you guys think? Let me read some of your comments. Thank you so much for joining. I really miss having lives and discussions and making videos and all of this. Sometimes we have to take a break to come back. But I'm very glad to have you guys following me. I'm very glad, to have my common sense tribe from different walks of life, but just people that have some common sense. Most women take these decisions out of devastation, out of lack of guidance, out of social pressure, out of poor standards, maybe not bad childhood, not supportive family, and sometimes recklessness, you know, sometimes recklessness. So, all of us, we don't have to just talk and, we don't have to only talk. We can do a lot more. I really think it is so important to let young women feel that they have value, that their time, their beauty, their fertility, their nurturing, their femininity is worth something, but it can only be appreciated if they appreciate it first. That's a whole different topic, but I think that the woman that respect herself, she would not be in a situation caught pregnant with some very mm, with a person that she could never be with. And I'm first to say that we as women, we are sometimes very naive and very gullible. We fall for things easily because we want to believe, we want to believe that uh or this man is in love with us. But the only way men prove love is with their actions, not with their words. With their actions, to take responsibility for your life. Yes, we all like compliments. Yes, we all want to be adored and admired. But sometimes us we as women need to sit down and ask honestly, answer the questions. It's difficult because we also sometimes tempted. We have our temptations. We sometimes fall in love with people we're not supposed to fall in love with. But we are the gatekeepers, so there should be a requirement. I call it a requirements of entry. Requirements of entry. If the man did not prove himself, if he did not show his commitment, what kind of business any woman has to be with him and give him all the wife benefits without being one? So I'm about to read some of your comments, guys. I'm just Oh, I lost so much of my energy. I actually took some screenshots of my conversations with those people. I really do not enjoy social media discussions. I know you can never win, but sometimes you can use that to just really see and realize and understand, not approve, but understand better the other side. And boy, oh boy, my understanding of the other side just confirm why we could never agree. Why we could never agree. And we shouldn't. Hey Terry, good to see you. Don't retract your messages. You always write something very interesting. Please share your thoughts. I have and I know it's a bit late for for many of us, but doesn't matter. I'm here. I'm gonna read some of your messages. Thank you guys for sharing your thoughts. Um, um, I'm going to read some of your messages. Hey, Bill. Reaction will the reaction has revealed the depths of the evil from that single choice. I think you're talking about my friend Katya. I know that one single thing that she done just set her entire life on into direction of pain and trauma and everything unimaginable. It was just a truly tragic thing. Even friendship with me, I couldn't fully trust her because again, when you engage in certain activities, it changes you. But I knew she had a beautiful soul. I saw her tears, but she couldn't love anymore. and I know that she actually really wanted that child, but she was vulnerable, and in the most vulnerable time for her, she didn't have her mother or father or any man or woman to try to say, you know what, maybe we can support you, maybe you can have that child, maybe we can do something. So parents fail as a parent when your child coming at 16 pregnant from somebody who discards them. You know you failed as a parent, but you can at least rise to the occasion and guide them from with that situation and tell that you will be there, support them, because that choice may change everything for them. And it's not to blame, you know, we all make mistakes, you know, like one of like one of my favorite expressions is, you know, your child will have something to tell about you at the therapist office. Okay, you can't be absolutely perfect, and sometimes you don't know how to do it better, and you're doing your best. But when your child in a situation, and he or she is like on the verge of some huge decision, just be there for them without judgment. She actually, you know, the second example, she really wanted to have that child. She was in love, it was her first love. She was head over heels about this man, and she wanted to have the child, but she was alone against the world, you know, with nothing. She gave in into pressure, and she never recovered from that. I think that if she would have the child, she would, yes, she would struggle, but she would be happier just knowing her. And she had a nephew, and she spoiled that boy uh, to an incredible extent. And I could tell she her entire life went evil in a horrible direction after this. So when, you know, a doctor, an educated doctor, tells you, oh, you know, it's nothing, it's just like it's a, you know, removal of some, you know, skin, you know, sometimes you have those moles, it's like it's like a mole removal or something. No, it's not, lady. And it's incredible how they try to insult your intelligence, tells that you know nothing about fetus development, and you don't understand anything about, you know, women physiology. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't need to know all the details like a doctor, because I don't perform surgeries and I'm not OBGYN. But I understand that women are not just biological organisms, and fetus is not just a clump of cells. I really wanted to tell you, I think your brain is a clump of cells. That's what I really think. If you working with women and you don't know how vulnerable we are about our children, about our possibility of having a child, we women who are in touch with their family, they better uh, pass away themselves, that imagine that their child would be hurt or murdered or in any kind of suffering and pain. Like, ladies who will be watching this, or maybe who watching this now, what are your thoughts on this? To my opinion, once again, as women who are in touch with their femininity, once again, we better pass away ourselves than seeing our child suffering in any size, shape, or form, or especially perform something that will take his life. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh my gosh, I inside of me I had every cuss words I knew, and I just don't want to insult or personally attack somebody. I think it's really not appropriate tactic, because we're talking about something. We were not going personal on each other. I think it is important, but inside of me I was thinking, yes, because of doctors like you, you know, women do not understand the aftermath. If these people would be honest, they would talk to a woman and tell you, you know, I understand your decision, and if you do this and this will happen, that maybe would be good for you. But these are also aftermath situations. You know, these are also side effects that may happen. You may get depressed, you may get severe PTSD, you may not ever have been able to have children again. It's very common uh, when you do a termination first, that you won't be able to have children again. So it's like that you may have regret, you know, like seeing a woman having tears dropping from her eyes when every year she's thinking how old her child would be. It's insane. I'm gonna post a picture of that picture always makes me cry. So I have this artwork of one artist, and it's a statue. Oh, please. Whew. It's a statue of a woman crying. She's kind of, she's kind of sitting on the ground with her head down, and she's crying over her choice. You understand what choice I'm talking about, of choice of her unborn baby, and they have this beautiful little girl made out of crystal glass. She looks like she's 2 or 3 years old, and she kind of like pets her mother and says, I still forgive you, kind of like an unborn child figure made out of mother tears, and she still forgives her mother for that choice. It's really hard to explain the work of art, but I'm like, just like, what happened to our society? What happened to our people? And we would rather kill somebody, give them no choice, but we need to have a choice, but they don't. They are nothing. They are not worth living according to our cultures. These people are not. So genocide against um people that were meant to be born. It's fun. It's, oh no, you are cruel, and you are heartless for wanting these souls to have a chance. I'm literally thinking that we are deeply sick and irrecoverable at this point. I will post. I just want you. I want you guys to see that incredibly beautiful and touching work of art. It's just like, oof. Just thinking about it. Just, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so emotional, but I'm just like, what the hell is wrong with these people? I don't know if you can see it. Can you guys see this? It's a mother crying over her unborn child, and the child again is made out of crystal. It's like her tears, and she said he's just pets you and says, I forgive you. I'm telling you, liberalism is a disease. Oh, I have a funny meme too, but I can't. Oh my gosh, I knew this would happen. I knew I should have pre-recorded this video. Anyway, let me read some of your comments. I need to stop talking. Oh, it's just, I mean, it's like almost they want to remove a child as some kind of cancer. This cancer will grow and ruin your life. This is cancer. Like, this is nothing. Your child, like, it's like, no matter what you achieve in life as a woman, most of us, the one thing that we always going to be proud of and feel fulfilled is our motherhood. Yes, not all women blessed with it, I understand it, but most women will nurture someone, even if they not didn't so happens they didn't get a chance to become a mother, they will still nurture. That is our main purpose on this planet. Not looking as a pregnancy as some kind of like undesirable cancer. Anyway, it's our time to celebrate. I'm sorry guys, I don't know, I can't, like, no matter how hard I try, I just can't. I did have to mention the situation in Ukraine when we were talking with this doctors. Mama just like, man, 20 years of studying down the drain, seriously. I mean, so many years of studying, and like, in Ukraine, when you knock on the wood, it means that you are dumb. I mean, seriously. Like, I was thinking to myself, what a waste of space. Thank you guys. Okay, I'm reading your comments. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for everything, all the good stuff. Thank you. I'm gonna start reading from the bottom, okay? Because it's way, way down. Thank you so much for joining and sharing. I know I have been a bit off my regular streams, and I really want to start doing them again. Oh, yeah, I want to say about the situation in Ukraine. So I brought up the Ukrainian women, giving birth under bombs, breastfeeding, being injured. Uh, you know, I don't connect exactly what's going on there and here. But what I was saying is that, like, here the women are outraged out there. They look like they're lesbians anyway, but they just like going bananas and like, oh, our rights, oh my god, our rights to kill a baby, and the gas price is $5. How will I go to another state? It's too much. All this nonsense, all this insanity. And meanwhile in Ukraine, women are hungry, thirsty, wounded, breastfeeding their children and giving birth and trying to survive, because we were meant we were meant for life. Those children were meant for life, not for death. You do anything to survive, and here you have all the circumstance, and you're like, yeah, but what if that, but what if there is this condition, what if you were are, or what if that happened. It's like all these cases that they throw into your face are under 5%, some of them under 1%. So I just want to say, would you please shut up? Oh. The questions that they say, well, what if there are medical conditions, what if they were raped, what if this, what if, what about it? There are always exceptions, there are always ways for, but those exceptions just prove the rule. Those exceptions are under 1%, sometimes under 5%, and there are regulations for them. Nobody taking those rights away from you. I don't know, guys. Okay, let me read some of the comments. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I really apologize for losing it. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I was actually thinking to record and then like cut off some things out. But I just wanted to come on live and share with you. So anyway, let me read some of your comments. Women, Jose, hello, Jose. Women at first instance are culture gatekeepers. Yes, in Spanish we used to call maternal language to the first one we learn in the land we are born, as so we grow up to talk. I'm so sorry. I think my brain is failing at this moment. Um, to our mother. Yeah. So anyway, you're saying that women at first glance are the culture gatekeepers. Yes, yes. This is why it's so important. And guys, it is so important what woman you choose, because the woman you're with may end up, any woman you lay down with may end up being the mother of your child. You may protect yourself, you may do whatever, she still may end up being a mother of your child. That's why it's so important, to control, uh to be able to control certain instincts, certain desires, till this is the right situation for you. Because you may think, oh, I'm gonna have an entertainment night with a stripper, or some other escort woman, or just woman that is completely wrong for you. And you think, oh, I just like a night, one night stand, I'm gonna have fun. I don't, we're all sexual beings. I definitely understand that. I understand all these desires. I mean, they are really powerful. We were made to explore that side of life, but you have to remember that each time you explore that, this woman may become in your life forever. So you have to choose wisely. The responsibility should not just go for women. I want to make another video where I'm gonna be when we're gonna have men being accountable, because a lot of men are not accountable whatsoever. And women are left with the aftermath of that. But anyway, I'm reading your comments. Okay. Oh, I have this elegant pen. I'm a lady. No finger screen touching, right? Hi, John. Good to see you. Thank you. Wait, it doesn't work. Or maybe I unscrew this. Okay. No, it does. I forgot that I have the pencil. Thank you, John. It's wonderful to be here. And we celebrate. Okay, we are celebrating victory. So okay, I'm gonna wipe these tears. Okay, we're gonna wipe these tears and save them for another day. Even though today was tough. Um, Thank you so much, John. Wonderful to have you here as well. I wonder how things are going for you. Please connect with me and let me know uh, how things are going for you. I really would like to know. I thought about you today, actually. Thank you. Yes, there is 1 million abortions approximately a year. Under 1%, there are all these weird cases. So tell me this is not a genocide with a straight face. Tell me this is not a genocide. And especially, with Planned Parenthood, it's incredible that people don't understand how racist that organization is and how it targets lower social economics and how it's sold to black people and how it was made to keep them in this mindset that they cannot do better, to keep trauma, to hold them back from prospering and to kill their kids. 20 million um out of all abortions, I think it was 73 million roughly, and from like 70s, I believe. But 20 million out of that are black children. And if you count the population, my brain, the if you count the percentage from population, it's a of what amount of population in United States they are, and you will realize it's such a huge percentage, and how extremely evil and racist this organization is. They are continuing the other organizations that was made prior to it. Don't remember the name of it, but it was to keep particular people procreating and the other people not. So when people trying to say that conservatives are racist, I honestly want to spit in their face. I'm sorry. I've learned it from Amber Heard. No, maybe would not want to do that, but maybe slap. Yeah, that's too nasty. I'm a lady, so maybe slap, uh, slap them real hard for saying this, because they really, we live in America as a society. We want all the members, all the communities to thrive. I think it's horrific that um people do not get, instead of having Planned Parenthood, have a place where these women can talk to you. You can offer them support and talk them out. I think a good abortion clinic should have therapists in there that will talk women out of doing it and offer them support throughout the process, and only do it in the case when there is no other option. Yes, exactly. It's a eugenist organization, and it was particularly created to reduce the black population of this country, which is another form of genocide. I did shut their mouths with that, though. In my discussion, I just like boom. So yeah, I know they're afraid of me. They're like, oh, you're so extreme. I'm like, I'm not. I'm thinking to myself, yes, I'm extreme because I say the truth. These are facts. They can be checked. These are actual facts. If you have common sense and logic, you are extreme. Okay, you can call me extreme just because I don't believe in your bullshit. I don't like saying these words, but sometimes you just have to. Thank you guys for being with me. Yes, definitely eugenics, absolutely, yes, and I think it's horrible. It's horrible. You know, how many geniuses, how many amazing children were not born? And the liberals in this attack, they were telling me, well, do you know how many foster kids are suffering? Do you know how many? Yeah, it doesn't mean they were not going supposed to be born. Do you know how many prosperous people that are, famous entrepreneurs, people who become lawyers and doctors, and people who brought value to society? So some of them just became very famous, and when you learn their biography, you learn that they were foster care kids. You know, what's his name? My favorite black Republican. Oh, what's his name? He's a doctor. Please tell me what's his name. He was raised by a single mother with a library card, and he became a Ben Carson. Is it Ben Carson? And he become a neuro. He performed brain surgery. He educated himself with a free library card. Ben Carson, yes. He educated himself with a library card, and his mother did everything to pour into him. And now he's a prominent person. I have so much respect for Ben Carson. He's one of my favorite people in our country and in general. So, what if his mother would decide, he's nothing? Like, every child has a chance. And these people were telling me that, oh, like, these children will turn out to nothing. Yeah, they may turn out to nothing. You don't have a control of it. But they also, why do you always look that they are not worthy and they're not supposed to prosper? What if they fail? But my question is, what if they fly? Who are you to decide and not give them a choice? You want a choice for yourself. What about their choice? Go to hell. That's my answer to all of them. People usually do not, they look at my pictures and my profile, which I don't really use much of Facebook. I truly deeply start to despise it. Usually I don't do much in this in those spaces, but people look at this, they really don't expect they don't expect what's coming, but it is coming. Terry is saying, love Ben Carson, amazing man. Read his story. God continued to bless him. Oh my gosh, yes. And he performed surgery on pregnant women. And he had this quote. I can reassure you, they're pretty much alive. Like, he performs surgery while the baby is in the womb. Like, he is brilliant. And he has such a soft he's so soft spoken. I love him and have huge respect for him and his mother and the things that he has been doing for the community. Yeah. Dr. Ben Carson, God bless you. Thank you, guys. Hello, I'm sorry, I don't know how to read your name. Chihaitu, I'm so sorry. If you could spell your name, it's really beautiful, but my brain is not capable today. Uh, I just want to say, Miss Anders, thank you so much. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. Feel free to contribute as a woman. What are your thoughts on this? Hopefully, we are on the same page, but even if we are not, that's okay. Little girls are being taught very early in life the lie. It needs to be stopped in school. Women's rights should not push this horrible lie and deception. Yes, Terry, I agree with you 100%. Yes, Ben Carson is definitely pro-life. He's incredible. I truly love him and wish him live for 300 years or more, because he makes an impact. He doesn't just, stick needles and, medications. He talks to people, he talks to youth, he gives amazing speeches rather than just, seeing us as a functional biological organisms. And just like, what? That's why I dislike these kind of doctors. I think they are really behind in their development. But it's really interesting, in these conversations, they always tell you that you're simple minded, that you're not deep. Basically, they try to tell you how dumb you are, or how like uneducated you are. And it does give me, a good smirk. Not smirk, but like it does give me, I don't know how to say this. It does give me a chuckle, but okay. You can pretend you don't know what you're doing, but your heart knows, your soul knows. And the depression and post traumatic syndrome is there after for a reason. For a reason. It doesn't just appear out of nothing. And our mental health affect our physical health in so many ways as well. Let me read some of your comments. Thank you guys for sharing your thoughts. I really appreciate you being here. Hello, Jeff. Like you said, I wish we could have more of a discussion as to why we still have so many women who are in situations they are considering not keeping their babies. Well, you know what? There are many reasons, but I have a question back to you. Why is there so many men that can't control their sexual behavior as well and sleep with many women at the same time and not thinking about the aftermath? So you have to understand that women should not, women alone should not be responsible. It takes two to tango. That's the question. It takes two to tango. I understand your question and I agree. Like we need to see like what in the world is going on with us, but because from the man's perspective, a lot of men take zero responsibility, and as soon as they hear the word pregnant, they're out. You're blocked. I actually have another, not like a daughter of a friend, or acquaintance here in US, and her daughter just she was, I don't know how, she was young, she was under 20 years old. They immigrated and she went out on a few dates with a guy. Well, apparently they had sex and then he disappeared. She realized she was pregnant, and the guy just disappeared. So the daughter didn't tell her mom and her dad anything. I think she was like 19 maybe, and it was about 10 years ago. She didn't tell them anything because she was afraid that they may want her to stop, to, you know, to terminate. And it only appeared when it appeared. And her mom was devastated. With all this pressures, a child will ruin your life. But guess what? Her baby is adorable. She has a great career. She has family to support her. Don't cannot give much more details, but she's thriving right now. Her son is now, I think he's about, it was 10 or 11 years ago. So her son is about 10 now. Beautiful boy. And yes, she has her, mom and dad, her family here. So she had got some support, but the guy literally disappeared. So she didn't try to, I mean, she told him what happened. She just didn't. So I think it's responsibility for both men and women. And I don't think it's fair to just point finger at a woman, because it definitely, man takes a very active role in the process, right? Oh, thank you so much, David. I don't know if you're watching. Thank you so much for the for the cash app. Thank you for the kind words too. Thank you guys for your support. Yes, I love the gatekeepers. Yes, and it's true. Women, we are nurturers and we are teaching the child culture. If you see a well-mannered child with good manners and good culture, you know that most likely there was a mother that was able to teach that. Oi. Yes, men should be the main part of the discussion, okay? I'm telling you, because the women who are stayed with the result of it, men are kind of like, huh, you are definitely greatly contributed to the situation, and men needs to have standards too. Just because, so a lot of men would go for anybody. I'm just saying the truth. I'm going out. I meet people all the time. there is not much resistance in offers from the men you don't even know. So yes, let's be real. Just because you can block a woman's number, doesn't take responsibility from you. Just saying. Men should have their standards. It's interesting. There are so many men on the internet. They're making all these videos and discussions and calling women H word and this word and that word, and making videos about their baby mamas and how they are mm, promiscuous and all of this. But you chose her. You had no standards. If you chose a low class woman, an escort type of a woman, or other word, you chose her. You literally drag her in your bedroom. I mean, not drag, but you as the active role. You Thank you. Thank you so much. I see that. Thank you. I'll be right there. You played an active role. So if you had no standard and you engaged with a woman like that, what does it tell about you? That you came at the first thing that was available? You are just as responsible as if she is, if not more, because you are the man, you're the head. I don't care what they say, you're the head of the family if you have family, but you are the decision maker. You are proactive. You are the active one. You are the one that makes things happen. We don't call you and invite you for dinner. Let's be real. I mean, maybe some women do it, but I'm talking in a classic situation. You don't call a guy and invite him. You don't chase a guy. He chasing you. So you chased women that were low class. They were available. They had no standards, and you went along with it. So don't make these long videos bashing women. That was your choice, and that's why you are in this situation. Period. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. uh all conception is creation of God, and all that he creates has a right to live freely. Yes, I agree. 100%. 100%. We are not just glob of cells or biological mechanisms. I'm telling you, I think these people are just going in reverse. They're so educated that they're going backwards. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for the super chat. It was really difficult to come on live today, for many reasons. But I miss you guys, and I would love to grow my channel. I need to learn new things and new skills, but I just don't want to spend too much time away. So thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it, Bill. Thank you. And thank you. It's a beautiful message. And the thing is, some people don't believe in God. Let's be real. Some people think, some people don't have these beliefs. But the thing is, the termination, it's against all spirituality, definitely against God, but it's also against nature. Nature tried to do everything for life to continue. I talked about this before. Nature doesn't care if you paid your mortgage, um, doesn't care if you're gonna get married to this man, doesn't care about anything. The nature's goal, the to create that attraction, those instincts, so there is a life. Because if nature was waiting till man, the nature, I mean the instinct, our biological nature, right? If the nature was waiting till man takes serious decisions and propose and do all the right way all the time, we'll all die. There will be no life created if but that attraction, that magnetic field between men and women, that sometimes you can't control certain things. It can be sometimes, some of us experience a passion that you truly do lose your mind sometimes. Maybe a few times in life, or maybe once in life, you have that kind of passion that can just completely screw you up. And that's why it is important. I think the best relationship with a man is when you're friends first, because when you are in that passion, you are blind. You see, it's like you have the sick pink glasses, like they're huge. You have huge pink glasses, and you cannot see. Women and men, when we are in love, when we have all those hormones and passion and attraction to each other, there is no way we can see a real picture of us. There is no way. We do not see that. That's why it is so important to be friends first with a person, to take your time as long as possible to get to know the person, to see if you're really on the same page, because life is unpredictable. Even if you're not ending up together in the long run, but you raising a child, I mean, it's not a good scenario, but life happens. You won't be contradicting, you won't be was a raging liberal, that's just have no values and green hair, and he's a and complete mess. I'm just saying the truth. It's like they live in complete disastrous life, and you're trying to put some good old values. It's gonna be forever fight. Forever fight. You probably won't end up together. So that's why it's so important, because when you're friends first, or when you may have attraction, but when you take time to get to know somebody, it's always better. Because once we get into this whole passion thing, it's too late. There is no clear judgment for men and for women both. I don't even know what's worse. I think, women are, yeah, we like to like create things that don't exist. We are known for it. Yes, we do need to be responsible, absolutely. And that's why we need to use our how to say this? We need to use our civilized part to just not put ourselves in tempting situations. I understand it's not always the case. I get it. But I was thinking the other day that when you put yourself intentionally in a certain situation, you just need to assume the consequence. If you're okay with the consequence, go full ahead. Yes, too acceptable for everyone to just do what they want right now. Yes, without thinking for the future. Ah! Jim! Oh my goodness. Jim is saying I have never, I'm proud to say I've never paid for sex. That makes both of us, Jim. I'll be honest. Oh my god, I'm dying. Okay, it's time to have some laughter. Yes, you and I, both. Both of us. Oh my goodness. Whew. You really made me laugh. Okay, stop laughing. Guys, you get me required to laugh. It's a process that I can't always stop on demand. Veronica, any opinion on what Justice Thomas said about looking at the other Supreme Court rulings? I honestly don't know. If you tell me what it is, I'll tell you my opinion. I was out and about on Friday. That's why I couldn't make a video. Uh, I I'm so excited. We went to see Conservative Twins on Friday night, and it was fire. If you guys know, they have name Hodge Twins or Conservative Twins. They're amazing. So it was an awesome performance here in Grand Rapids. It just was fire. They are twins. They are black conservative guys. They are hilarious, very handsome, very smart, and very common sense oriented. I love them. Got to ask a few questions, and they did compliment me on my Ukrainian accent. I'm a bit starstruck, but I did ask their opinion on Joe versus Wade, uh, because we had time to ask some questions, and they were talking about that. Yes, they're generally against. They're happy for it, and I also brought this argument that we only focus on the outcome when things already happened. But what if we change as a society, if we have more standards and responsibility? Like, it's like, so if you're not caught, you didn't do it. Think about this. We only focus on this when it happened, but maybe those behaviors needs to be changed and those standards needs to be raised. While we are only focusing on the issue, only if we got caught with a child. What if you having this hectic life, you don't get pregnant, but you still make a mess out of your life, right? And so they actually, I don't know, one of them said that it's a great point and they agree with that. So your girl made a splash. Well, a little bit, yes. It was awesome. I'd like to go again. The only one thing I didn't honestly like that much is that their show, it's really an adult show, 18 plus. So by no, I'm so glad I was there with adults. um no children. But it was a bit too graphic, in their live shows they have sometimes like a little bit of certain things that are a bit inappropriate, but that was a bit too much of graphic stuff for me. I love them for their opinions, more than for their analysis, for their humor, not so much for their um graphic part, because I'm not interested in that. If I want to watch something like this, I know where to find it, but I'm not, it's not the my cup of tea. So that was a bit that was a bit of like, but overall it was great. I'm just warning you because I'm just fresh from it. That's the only reason I didn't go live on Friday, because we had some fun last Friday night. Oh my gosh, it had so much fun, guys. It was unreal. Yes. So yeah, because liberals say that it's the conservatives are only boring white men in suits. Yes, I met the Hutch twins. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I sure did. It was really, really fire. And I know I needed to talk to them, like have a personal ask questions and be proactive and ask, um, like have a personal interaction, because my son would never forgive me if I wouldn't come to an event, and he's a huge fan of them as well. And if I would go to an event and not make some kind of connection and get that joyful that joyful experience of connecting with somebody that you watch and like. So I know, like, it was, I have to say I was a bit anxious for just a minute. And I'm like, yeah, like he would never forgive me. I would never forgive myself for not asking. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing, and I would love to go again. I wish that they would have more time, with the audience, and having again a little bit more of insightful, like kind of like the way they do their videos, but it's their show, so they know better. It was definitely, they kind of like, what you see is what you get. They were overall, they were great. I would just, I'm not too big fan of the graphic jokes, just not. I mean, I'm over 15, those things, I don't look at them that way. But yes, I did. Casey, you remind me of my son, because I texted him, and he wrote in all caps. I sent him a picture of, my selfie with them, and he wrote me in caps like, you met the Hutch twins. Yes. Yes, they were awesome. And yeah, so they immediately commented on my accent and said it was beautiful, and that just tells you that, no, conservatives are not, racist or unacceptable. That they all tell you all these things, about, how bad conservatives are. It's like, no. Have you guys seen the new clip of Nancy Pelosi pushing the little girl with her elbow? We are party of love, light, diversity, and acceptance. We're also pushing young Latin children with our elbows, so we're not too close standing with them. But yeah, we are so accept. We are so we love diversity. It was hilarious. You have to you have to find the it's been this clip has been going viral with Nancy Pelosi. Just eat, eat, cartoon camera, bitch, bitch, whatever. So guys, yes, thank you, thank you for your kind words. It's nice to switch, talk about something uplifting. But yes, I'm a bit starstruck. It was beautiful. I would go again. Yeah, I love their political talk. I love their political talk. So, but that was a bit more of a sort of like comedy. They show some personal stories, which I don't know if was a good idea or not. But I recorded a little bit, but they asked not to record when the lights were off. But where lights were on, I recorded a few short clips. Jim, thank you. Jim is saying they have a similar sense of humor as you. They don't take themselves too serious, even though they do. Yes, they're awesome. Yeah, I should have asked, what part of the show was conservative. Because I'm telling you, they went wild. I'll just give you that hint. But I was a bit like, okay, I need to ask a question, I only have one chance. Casey, I think abortion or termination does affect others because I hate to say it, but the child is not a part of woman's body. It grows inside her body, but it's not her body. She takes decision for both, for the child and herself, but it's not part of her body. It's a separate organism that not only hers but also the person that helped her to create it. So she should also ask the other person what she wants to do and take that decision. So I have to disagree with you on that one. I think there are so many options right now to completely prevent it. There are so many options, probably thousand, probably several thousand options of things that you can do, so you never have to be in that situation. I do think it's affect an unborn child that literally have nothing wrong and have a right to live. I think this mindset is fair to the innocent life that she created with somebody else. If you think this mindset is unfair to a woman, is this mindset of just getting rid of the start in life, is it fair to a child? Does a child has a choice? In a worst case scenario, if something happened and things went where we're not supposed to go, there are some things you can prevent things from even starting. I don't want to get too magical, but you just have to learn the word responsibility, just embed it. Responsibility, period. And it's not about control of other people, it's about encouraging to actually be more aware of what you are doing. It's not like somebody does something once. As I told you, it was my tragic story about my friend back in time. She done it once, it was a tragedy, it's killed her inside. But then it was just a thing, it was just her lifestyle. She just didn't care. It broke her heart to the point that she probably wanted to hurt herself. When she told me she doesn't even remember how many times things had happened. you know. It's not about me or you or anybody else trying to control and tell somebody. It's about raising the awareness. A lot of women, they don't understand what they're doing. A lot of women are under pressure, you know. And we have so many options. We have so many options. uh Look, now, if you really do not want to have a child, as a woman you can have your tubes tied, and as a man you can get the other surgery as well, okay? The vasectomy, I think it's called. So if you know you don't want it ever, there are things that you can do. Yes, if you don't want to do a permanent solution, there is a chance to get pregnant, and therefore it's not a bad idea to consider who you're going to lay down with. Or maybe not do it. If you are a man and you are broke, you have no business sleeping with a woman. If you cannot support that woman and support her and her future child that she may have, like you said, if you don't have a permanent surgery, a permanent decision, then instead of laying down with a woman and telling her, oh, let's not use protection because it feels better, and there is no doubt it does feel better, um, maybe you should, instead of laying down, go and get another job. So when you do that, you take full responsibility as a man for what you for the woman you procreate with and the fruit of that. Whatever, it's like we live in 2022, not in 1920s, in 2020s. I really think, I hope that for some people that will gonna be a ring of responsibility. And I'm not this highly, oh my gosh, I'm so moral. We all have things we're not proud of. We all have made mistakes. We all got hurt. But it's like, how about raising that awareness and understanding that no, it's not just the removal of a clump of cells, it's something else. And then again, like, for women, like, why to be with a man that would discard you at the moment he knows you're pregnant? It's like, how can you not love yourself more as a woman? How can you not have requirements, list of them, and standards and commitment from a man before you give him the best of you? Your time, your energy, your love, your body, everything. Women think it's freedom, to just sleep around. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's not freedom. Oh my god. Well, I'm not a doctor, so guys, let's stop this conversation about all these things. Go to your health professional, okay? Just make sure they're not liberal as hell. There are definitely options, Kizzy. With what you mentioned, there are definitely options. There are pills, there is this, there is that, like million things. I don't even know. There's after pill, before, whatever. Yes, I understand that. Like when you do it, it's not even there yet. So, but again, why to do this to yourself? Even taking a pill. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying, even taking the pill. Do you understand that it's not good for women's health? Like, like there are better things than tormenting yourself. Like being with a man you really love. I'm talking about young women, especially that are looking to start their family. In this case, yeah, sometimes things come as a surprise, but when you're in the right situation, it's not a big deal. Oh, Jim, you really made me laugh today. I disagree with you on that, KZ. Women can still get it. They may have to drive to another state and pay $5 to kill their baby, 5 bucks per gallon to drive out of state. There are states, there are plenty of blue states. You can go and do it. It will depend on the state, and I think even in red states, they're gonna be all these exceptions, all those certain situations like super early one, and all these stupid exceptions that rebels are. What if you are raped? What if you it's an incest? Yes, what if brick falls on your head? Yeah, so even in red states, I'm sure they're gonna be, regulations for super early and other exceptions, which are again under 1%, sometimes under 5%. And then if you are in a red state that's like super red, and or there is something unavailable, you take your car, you make some money, and you go to another state. But I don't think anybody will actually need to go to another state, because even in a red state there are basic human rights, and there is, you may have to go to have a medical prescription, or you have to file a police report if something happened. And you just go, you would be able to do it. Probably will take a couple of months for them to figure it out, but even in the red states, they will be an option. So Kizzy, you're so off on this one. Each state will make a law, exactly, Terry. So like, if guys, I have to show you this meme. I don't know if you will be able to see it. um can you guys see it? It says like, when gas is at $5 a gallon, and you have to drive out of state to kill your baby. I know it's really inappropriate, but this is a perfect rage and liberal. Yeah, so nobody taking your right. It's like, I don't know why is it going so unglued about it. You can still do it, maybe a bit less convenient, may have to have a little drive, may have to go to a doctor and get an official prescription if you have health issues, whatever, but who cares? Like, it's nobody taking away anything from you. They making you a favor that you will actually think about something. So yeah, you need to grow up a little bit. I don't know how old you are, but maybe you need to. I don't know. But again, that's your opinion. If you think this way, I think that I think these women, they are so angry and frustrated. Those screaming women on the streets. Um, I think they're just so out of touch with everything. They just, I think they need mental health first. Like, I watched a few clips where they're screaming and doing. I think there is a mental health issue there. I think they're completely out of alignment with themselves, and they're just looking for a reason to go wild. Because if they would think about it, it's just no longer in It's overturned, but it's every state will have their law, and you don't even know what it's gonna be yet. But it's gonna be there. Oh my gosh. I just think this whole thing, you guys, when I think about the depths of it and what happened to us as a society, that what scares me the most. Maybe, these women maybe should not have kids. They're so messed up and they can't think critically and then can't accept responsibility. Maybe it's a good idea. Not saying they need to get a termination, but I'm just saying motherhood is not for everyone. Yeah, maybe they do need a plan B if they're gonna, if they not capable of anything, of even thinking straight. Law is not punishing you for unprotected sex. You punish yourself for having it. If you're a grown person, you learn about reproduction the abortion, the termination is not a form of birth control. There are many others you can use. Oh my gosh, I love that. You have money for for beer, you have money for contraceptives. Yes, I mean, it's like it's nature. We can't do nothing about it. It's not like anybody. Nobody's protecting you. Yeah, I mean, nobody is punishing you. You're punishing yourself. It's being dumb. It's called personal responsibility. But one thing I would say that men should be held accountable to. One thing I think that all fingers should not be at the woman, and if the woman is forced or her boyfriend tells her, okay, I don't want to have this child, if she has this pressure, okay, I think the boyfriend should come alone and sit with her and witness the procedure. I really think that a lot of men encourage certain things, so they should be present for the outcome of it as well. If I would be okay, if I would be taking decisions, if I would be in a lawmaking department, I would make it a law that yes, you want to get a termination, come with your boyfriend, let him watch, and I want to see that man fainting there, seeing how it's done. When somebody's, especially for the later term, when they use forceps and take your baby limb by limb with with a medical forceps, and you were part of it, and you encouraged her, you got her there with your actions, and you encouraged her to get rid of it. Come with her and watch. So this, I agree with you that men should be just as responsible, because a lot of time men kind of pushing things. Let's just be real. Yeah. So yeah, if that would be up to me, I would say yes, no problem. Come with your partner though. Let him watch this show, and maybe then he would realize that no, it's not a clam of cells, it's actually what could have been my child. And this is what I have done. It probably wouldn't even, I mean, it would shock. It would, trust me. If men would see this one more time, I mean, if men would see this done one time, he would probably lose his gift, his speech, and he would never put a woman in this condition again. I think that both people are responsible. There's two to tango, right? So absolutely both are responsible. But yes, the blame is usually on the woman, but it really shouldn't be just on the woman. It should be equally, but it's not. And the woman is ending up with aftermath. So we, ladies who are watching me, we must be smarter than this. Period. And we are. Most of us are. Just saying. Oh, thank you guys. You're having some nice introductions in there. Yeah. I won't read the gym, but I agree with you. Everybody knows those facts about Kamala going horizontal in her career. It's a known fact. It's not like some conspiracy theory. It's all over internet, and the man that she was hanging out with, it was all there. So she is not an example for nothing. Hmm. Very interesting, Luke. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I didn't mean to go so graphic and so much into this. Whispering Mechanic, welcome. I don't think I've ever seen you commenting before. I haven't really kept up with the topic too much. The change in the law uh, is to make people more responsible for their actions. Yes, I agree with you. It's like, snap out of this. Take responsibility. It makes your life better. Right? Oh my gosh. Guys, it's getting really late, so we're gonna be wrapping up. Thank you so much for joining this discussion. I'm gonna look at your comments tomorrow when the chat. I'm so sorry I didn't read a lot of comments, but when the chat is loaded tomorrow, I'll look at your comments so it may create some responses or videos or something. Terry saying I had a friend ask me why I didn't vote for Biden. I said because of Harris. Why would you vote for Biden? I mean, he's gone. I mean, there are many reasons not to look at his family. Is even despite of Harris, like look at his family. He couldn't raise a son. You think he can lead the country? I mean, he outlived himself already a long time ago. He's not even cognitive. I don't think. Um, not anyway. Don't get me there, please. He's gone. She was like, "Come on, us women need support." No, not this woman. Get the right candidate. Yes, exactly. No, we don't need support from the woman that put people to jail to make her record good and hold the evidence from people who were innocent. She put more innocent men to jails than anybody could imagine. And a lot of people say, well, we want to support a black woman. Oh, I'm not even gonna comment on that. But she put more people, more men in jail, black men at that, than anybody else that we know. They actually made a portrait of her with all the men that were innocent or had minor offenses, like, smoking weed or something. They didn't really do anything big. They made her portrait out of faces of those men she put to jail. She held the evidence on purpose to make her record as a prosecutor, and she put them for minor offense for smoking weed, and she admitted to smoke weed herself. She's a horrific person, and her morals are, she openly slept with a number of married men to climb in her career. So who cares? I despise her, and she's embarrassing. Her laughter. That's her not understanding anything about foreign policy. I remember listening to her thoughts on Ukraine. I just thought I'm gonna just drop there. I don't listen. I don't ever listen to her anymore or to anybody. I think she's awful. She's the worst. I'm just saying. She's like the if woke culture was a person. She has no values, no. It's just horrible, horrible human. As I mean, tell me one good thing about her. That's the challenge. One. Good night, Dave. Thanks so much. Thank you. You're gonna be my common sense tribe. I need to make some tribe name for my channel. They were saying thanks for the common sense, Veronica and everyone. It's nice to hear it from time to time. Thanks, good day. Yes, good night. We are wrapping up too. It's really late. Um, I didn't know you guys are gonna join. I thought like nobody knows I'm live, so I can make a shorter live. Um, yeah, right, right, Jim. So yes, power to states. We celebrate victory. I wish I could have done the live. I was so full of energy, so excited about it. You know, got a little dance performance over here. Yes. Um. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you got notification of my live. Thank you guys so much. I really want to focus on my channel again. I miss it so much. Um. And it's a topic we are reconnecting again. Not so great news from Ukraine today, unfortunately, but You know, we are going to keep going, and I'm going to try to do my very best to be more often with you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I will be posting updates, thoughts in my community section, and hopefully we'll have more discussions. um I had a little bit of a technical issue with my Patreon. I'm gonna try to post some things tomorrow again. I think it's just probably maybe I don't have the latest version of it, or something is there is a contradiction. I forgot this word. Anyway, contradiction with my software or something. But I'm still working on everything. Very grateful for your support. Terry, you're here. Thank you so much for all the support you have showed. You really make my heart smile. You're one of the most amazing people I've ever met. I just want you to know. You are very inspiring person, and I hope to meet you in person sometime or talk with you on the phone sometime. I just want to thank you personally for your support, for your kindness, for everything. Thank you so much. I hope you are still here. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. And of course, all of you guys, my uh, old, my long term, my, old times, um, early times supporters that have been with me forever. Thank you so much. And my new ones. I would absolutely love to welcome the new people. I really think that it's time to start growing again. Hopefully, we can spread the message. Oh, by the way, you guys can. Do I have any of my mods here? My email. Could somebody post my email? Consultveronica@gmail.com. You can find me on Patreon if you Google Veronica Olson on Google. If you just want to support my content, I'll be honest, I don't do too much in Patreon, but I will post a link on my community section for the updates that I'm working on. Um, you can also find me on Instagram, but I just want to stay straightforward that on Instagram I'm doing my first. I do mostly pretty things there, but it's a great way to send me a message on Instagram if you have something concise and quick. You want to ask me something or connect with me for some reason. It's you can DM me on Instagram. It's just my name, Veronica underscore Olson on Instagram, but it's completely different content. I'm just having like my girl time there. I promote my furs and just have fun and make just silly videos spinning in my furs. So if you are in that kind of thing, then you can join me on my Instagram. But I understand you may not be into that. Oh, thank you, John. Yes, and my email is consultveronica@gmail.com. Um, I'm having a lot of fun on Instagram because I don't think about anything else, just like some pretty things. Thank you, Terry. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jeff. Oh, you found me from Irina's channel. Yes, she was amazing. She was so supportive. I really appreciate her. Thank you. Thank you so much for checking out my channel as well. I appreciate it. Very grateful to Irina for talking about, and helping me out. Thank you. Yes, you are NOG. If you find me so you've been following me for 7 years at least. Yes. Wow, it's been a hot minute. Thank you for still joining the lives, Kizzy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, try to post it when you're going to go live stream. I wish I could do it, but I'll try. That's one of the reasons that I don't have a job. I mean, I'm working for myself. Like, um, maybe I can make a community post just a couple hours prior. I can try to do that. Or maybe, God forbid, I create a schedule. I used to pretty much go live every day, but not right now. Kizzy saying, I think most. Wait, just a second. I think most women will vote Democrat for abortion rights. Well, that would be a shame. That would be. shameful things. I hope that most women are smarter than that. I do. You've been watching me for 6 years? How come I see you comment for the first time? Maybe you change your nick, your name. Oh, thank you so much. Yes. Oh my gosh, they have on Patreon now. They have a live streaming for members only. So that is really cool. So if we can get some more members on Patreon, I can make more posts, just a couple posts a month, and we can have like a real like a club, like a little Patreon club and members club. That would be great, actually. Also, guys, if you enjoy my channel, you may consider becoming a member. I really appreciate my new members. It's a join button on somewhere there near subscribe button, and but you can only access it from computer, from a desktop. That's if you want. No requirements or expectations. You miss our live meetings? Yes, we need to grow our group a little bit, our membership on both on YouTube and on Patreon, and we can have, yes, it would be great to have our live Zoom chats again. Yes, I miss it too. We had a riot on those Zoom chats. Yes. You know what? We should do a meeting sometime. But we should maybe, you know what? I'll think about it. I'm not gonna make any promises, but I would love to have something. It would be fun. Oh, sure, sure. I understand. We all have lives. I'm glad you live in life and doing your thing. Yeah. I can't make myself go on TikTok yet. Like, to me, it's like, oh, that's too ADHD. It's too much. Yeah. I remember, guys, when I was saying, like, that, like, Instagram is crazy. I'll never have an Instagram account. Like, not that I would never have it, but I never. Yeah, it's a bit too cringe. But you know what? But the thing is, I don't like how ADHD TikTok is. But you know what? If you have great content and you have audience and you have time and you can bring value with your short videos, you can probably do TikTok or whatever. I just like I'm trying to minimize my social media as much as I can. So maybe one day I'll do it, but not right now. I have enough with Instagram. And I absolutely dislike Facebook. I do very little on Facebook right now. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for all the kind words and sharing your thoughts. And it's so nice to just see people that see through it. It's like there is no tragedy. You can still do you can still do these horrific things. So what are you crying about? I'm talking about this whole, oh my god. I see them liberals posting like our daughters won't have the same rights. They taking our freedom. You would not have no daughters if you would follow this freedom. Oh god. And we hear this from people that were literally trying to stick a needle under our skin, got people fired, people lost their businesses, people were suffocating in the masks. You hear this from these people that were telling you that your body is not your choice and you need to harm yourself with whatever, vaccines, whatever crap they came up with. You need to harm yourself. You need to put an umbrella on yourself so that other person does not get wet. These people that interfere with your studying, with your travel, so many businesses shut down, so many destinies, so many things were not um so many things went out of place, and you have the audacity to tell us that we taking your freedom away. Yeah, we taking your mindless freedom away from mindlessly just using termination of pregnancy as a birth control. Yes, even though every state will have something different, right? We don't even know what it's going to be like. But it was okay for you to make people suffocate, to ruin all of their plans, again, lose their money, ruin their proms, their events, their weddings, try to control who comes in and out and of your house. Try, I went to a few of major parties here with my conservative friends. We had a riot when our governor said no more than 5 people or 10 people. We like, here comes the middle finger. So we did. I'm so glad that fully ignoring this whole thing, and we had the riots. Thank God to my fire friends, and that just be like, this is my house. I'm gonna have 50 cars in my driveway, and f you. So and this is the people that talk about freedom that would fire you or require you to get a shot under your skin that you don't want. You still, I don't think you still can go to Michigan State to the class without vaccination. These people tell you about choice. Oh, but you may kill someone. With pregnancy termination, you definitely kill someone. How about that? You may kill. Yeah, yeah. You may kill someone, yes. Just because I'm breathing. I need to start drinking alcohol severely with some of you guys. Let me see. Yeah, that was fire, Jim. It was fire. Yes. It's so sad when I see people who support BLM and abortion, they not realize how much abortion this had done to blacks. Luke Barsa. BLM sucks. It's like the most Marxist, the most nasty organization, because they don't care about no. Why BLM is not at the Planned Parenthood? It's trying to save the black babies they about to abort. Where's BLM in Chicago riots? Where are they? Did not hear them being there. In the neighborhoods where there is violence. Where's BLM? No, BLM only show up one time in four years to say, hey, need some money, need to buy some mansions in the white neighborhoods. Hey, but the most horrific is that um, the Planned Parenthood is completely racist organization, and if BLM would care, they would be standing near the Planned Parenthood and say, "Do not do it. Please reconsider. We will help you. We'll give you some of the fundings of millions of dollars. Maybe I think they raised like $1 billion to help you with your baby. Don't kill your baby. We need those babies." Because there was genocide against us, and we want to support you. Maybe you are about to terminate your pregnancy because you have no support, but we raise so much money and we so much care about black lives that if you won't go for this termination, we will sponsor your child, we will help you to raise your child, and we will put your life, your child's life as the life we save, because we black life matters. I agree with you. That's just complete nonsense. And they are evil. Absolutely evil. They care about no black lives. Oh please. Yes, I know. It's devastating. It's really funny. When I went for Hutch Twins, so it was like in a theater that located in the most urban, one of the most urban areas of Grand Rapids, and it's like pride. Like there are like pride everywhere, pride flags, and Black Lives Matter. Every business has it, You know, more black people die in the Black Lives Matter riots than ever from the police. And you can actually look at those records. It's not just my imagination. Look at the records and you will see it. But anyway, and it was kind of hilarious that conservative twins were given. I was kind of afraid for their life a little bit because um, people there are just like, they just have no common sense. It does stir me up a little bit, but conservative twins took the edge off. They were amazing. Yes, they're just as handsome in person as they're on the video. We need more of them. Just saying. Absolutely, all lives matter. So as unborn lives as well. Also, before you judge me, I have a black grandson I love dearly. All people bleed same color blood. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The only reason why I have to bring up the race sometimes is because we're talking about organization that continuously target this particular race and not having any mentors, any support for those women that ended up in that situation. They would rather just take those black babies and terminate them because they want to keep those women depressed. They want to keep them miserable. They want women to not make better choices with men, to not get out of poverty. So you will continue doing this. Will just keep taking your babies away. You know, it's horrible. The only reason why I ever bring particular, racial issues into my conversation, because I absolutely have to for the sake of conversation. KZ, I'm gonna tell you this again. If BLM was standing for what they stand for, they would be having demonstrations near Planned Parenthood. They would point fingers at Planned Parenthood and have a lot of issues with that because they are mostly in a lower socioeconomic communities, and they're mostly targeted at black people. I think like 70%. So if BLM was just this great organization, I mean, we all know it's a bunch of bullshit, right? But if they would care, they would be standing there and would say, "Stop this! We're gonna give you funds. Don't kill your child. We need those children. We need them to prosper. Let's stop the poverty line. Stop telling people that they're less than you are." One thing that I hate about, I dislike strongly about Democrats, they try to tell people of other colors that they try to feel sorry for them rather than see them doing great things. They try to feel sorry for them and treat them less than. Oh, you're a victim. Oh, no. We are perfectly capable people. Leave us alone. And this is it continuously. It happens continuously, like in these circles. If you're talking about systematic racism, that's Planned Parenthood. An organization like that. I need a drink, a vacation, a jet, and something else. Oh, don't even get me on that whole pride things. I still don't know what those people are proud about. Thanks, Casey. I'm glad we're on the same page on that one. And I really, I really don't enjoy to pointing people or try to see to make any kind of division, but sometimes you just have to sometimes you just have to bring certain things for the sake of conversation, because we're one society. Like, one thing I love Donald Trump for, like, he want everyone to prosper. You may like him, you may hate him, but he want everyone to prosper. He don't want people to feel sorry for you. I'm a woman, I'm all other things. I absolutely hate when people bring my status and like trying to get some benefits. It really makes your lower self shine. You get into this victim mode. Our country, half of our country lives in a victim mode, try to get some benefits, try to get something. We don't need to be, we need to make our higher self shine. We don't need this. We all can cripple ourselves in multiple ways. There are many ways you can cripple ourselves and be helpless, or you can make the most of your life and encourage others. I absolutely dislike and I absolutely despise the way they treat people. And I don't even like this minorities. Like, why would you call a group of people a minority? Just in that statement, you show you are smaller than we are. Call them something more reasonable than calling somebody a minority of people of color. It's horrible. Stop saying those expressions. Absolutely ridiculous. Stop doing this to people. You say you are against their judgment, but all you do is judging them and put them in the categories as if they're less helpful. Like, not less helpful, as if they're less capable. They're not less capable than you. Why don't you just shut up and try to and stop it and stop categorize people by their capabilities that you know nothing about. I understand that um, Black and Hispanic people are less represented. I understand that, but that's not a good thing to call. When somebody calls you a minority, it does something to you. Okay, it's I hate all of these things. I think that I can't explain. My English is not always that great, and it's like 1 a.m. in the morning, so I can't put my words together. But I do not like how it sounds. I understand about the demographics of US. I understand it, but still, don't call people. Don't do that. Thank you so much for the super chat, Diego Low Samstown. Thank you so much for supporting my show. Thank you. I'll get myself a smoothie tomorrow after this conversation. Maybe, okay, no alcohol because we care about beauty over here and health. So, but I'll get myself a smoothie. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Don't tell me you've been following me for 7 years. Because I think I'm seeing you here for the first time. So I hope I'm not wrong. But thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Guys, I've been live for what, 5 hours? But I'm so passionate about these topics, I can't contain myself. I just like when people put crap in a candy wrapper and trying to convince you it's a candy. Consume it. I understand that it's not a bad word. I'm not saying it's a bad word or disrespectful word. I just don't like how it sounds. I don't want to be called a minority. I'm an immigrant, so in some ways, I represent Slavic people. We also only some small percentage of the population, but call yourself a minority. You and your stupid government. I just don't like the concept. I know it's not offensive. I know it's not disrespectful, but I just don't like it. When you tell somebody it's kind of like you subconsciously tells them they are less than, there is less of them. It's like, I don't like it. It's not right. I just don't know. I don't know. I may be entirely wrong. This is just my opinion. Maybe it's just semantics. Maybe people like it. I do not like it. I don't like how it sounds. I'm a majority. As you know, how about we all will be as smart, no longer silent, common sense majority. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I don't like it. Terry, I think that we are all well, I'm an immigrant, but I'm a citizen now. We are all Americans now with different ethnicity, different descent. We should not pointing at each other's uh, ethnicities so much. We should be beyond that point. Okay, only sometimes you do certain things because for the sake of conversations there is a particular issue, but I totally agree with you, Terry. It's true. Yes, but when I was at the conservative twins, at the Hutch twins event, I was thinking to myself, oh my god, this is such a punch in the gut to the liberals, because they are two smart handsome black men and people love them. It's like have to bring up the race for the sake of conversation, because in ultra liberal woke eyes, it's only the how to say this, it's only old white men in suits, like retired men in suits, the conservatives. No, there are some hot beautiful women that are conservatives. I have them on my chat, or at least women that have good values. No, it's not only older men. So you just have this like representation. This is nobody but like I can't, guys. What's going on? They're not mixed actually. They're not mixed. Ask them. Somebody ask them that question. I mean, maybe somewhere, but doesn't matter. Yeah. Don't make me blush. I don't know what they are, but they're incredible example for the youth that we desperately need. Oh my gosh, they did make some awesome jokes about this whole situation. We were on the floor. There were some amazing jokes that they made about stuff we're talking right now. Whew, definitely fun. All right, guys. I do not want you to have red eyes tomorrow and thinking about me in a bad light. I'll be honest with you. Um, I did have a nap today, which I have like maybe 10 naps a year, maybe 9. So today my body just said you need a nap. So that's the only reason I'm still speaking. So I want you to have a beautiful, relaxing night. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to my new followers. Thank you so much for supporting the show. My OGs, you always have my heart. Big hug. And we'll see each other soon again. Probably will. I'm considering to make a mix on this channel, having long lives, uncontrollably long lives like this, and then having some short, concise videos to just have very on point videos for those people who don't have, who won't be able to watch the live, just like short version, maybe like a short version of lives, to just have a few points to share with the audience. So anyway. Yes, 1 a.m. Beauty sleep. Beauty sleep is overdue. Thank you guys so much. I will see you very soon. And thank you for hanging out with me in this unexpected for you live show. Yes, maybe a clips of lives. Yes, it's a good idea. Yes, I'll think about that. Thank you. All right, guys. I will see you very soon. Thank you for joining. It's my fifth time saying this, but this one is for real. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.